everybody, welcome to my studio. My name is Diane Fago and I share with you here on my channel mixed media and collage. I do magazine collage work and junk journaling and things like that, and I just thought I would do another little check-in. I posted a video yesterday on Saturday just with where I was with everything, and I thought that I would just kind of get back on here tonight. It's Sunday night, and just see how things are going. I am feeling a lot better than I did yesterday. I was definitely down yesterday, and getting up and getting moving kind of definitely helped me a little bit. And I got up this morning, had to get my daughter to her last show choir choreography boot camp today, so she finished that up today, so that was big. And I got myself cleaned up, I showered and washed my hair and feel better. I didn't mention yesterday in that video, I was looking like a hot mess in that, and that was Saturday. I had braided my hair Friday morning for work, so that video, I think it was around noon on Saturday, and my hair was still braided, and I didn't take my hair out until Saturday night whenever I went to bed. So that's kind of a good representation how my last few days were, and I'm feeling better. I didn't get a whole lot done today that I was wanting to, just because of other things that was going on. Sunday during the day when I've got the kids, it's spent helping get them ready so that they can go to their dad's, and always means lots of laundry and just tidying things up and things like that. So sometimes that kind of takes over, and today it did, and that's okay. So I do need to still work on my calendar and get all of the dates in for September so that I am ready for this new month, September. And tomorrow I am going to work on my workshop. I am going to go ahead and play with those Dick Blick paints that I shared yesterday that I had bought to work with, and I for sure will video that, and just I might just do some little mixed media cards, little ATCs. I haven't decided. I do have some over there on my desk that have that first layer of just that first layer on there. I always like to put deli paper and just glue down scraps of paper and things like that first, and I have some of those that are already in that stage and ready to go, and they just kind of ready for me to put some paint on them. So I am going to do that tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's been a long time since I have really played with any of my paints at all, so really looking forward to that. But it's 9:30 now, it's Sunday night, and it's quiet, and after I get home on Sunday night, after dropping off the kids, sometimes I'm totally fine with it, and other times I get a little down. Tonight when I got home, since the week had been so much anyways, and so stressful and just busy, and it was just nonstop, I was very much ready for just some quiet. And so I just kind of did. I was just quiet for a while, and I don't even think I had the TV on. I'm not even sure what I did, but I'm up now, and I have been looking at the things on my desk and just kind of trying to decide what I would like to work on right now. I am feeling for sure that I I want to glue some things down. I don't know if I want to cut anything out, but collage is where I am feeling what I want to do. I'm not gonna start working on the pages, the last couple pages that I have been sharing, and that's what all I've got lying here are the pieces for that. I'm going to save that for another day because I want to do a full separate video on that, because as soon as I get these down, that actually this next video with working on these pages will probably well, there's probably two, so I might divide it into two different ones. I'm not sure. They might come together pretty quickly, since I have done all the hard work's done as far as figuring out what images I'm going to use and having all the bits and pieces cut out. So it's ready to go. So I think I'm going to just move this over to the side, and I have a couple things that I did that I had started cutting out. I don't really feel like doing any intensive sitting and cutting out right now. I'm going to put those to the side and just got everything cleared off on here. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera so that you're looking down. I am not sure what I'm going to work on. I've had some pages in my mind that whenever I think of something, like a thought comes to my mind, I would be like, I can totally see that in my journal. And that's been happening several times. And as I've been seeing those pages in my head, they look different than what I have been doing, and different in the sense of not just maybe all collage image. I am seeing my writing on it, which for me is a big deal, because I really haven't been doing any writing on any of the pages in my journal lately, as far as writing down the quotes and things like that. I used to do that a lot in my previous collage journal, but this new one, I've really, for some reason, stopped doing that. I don't know if it's because since I went so long from working on that type of collage, I just kind of feel rusty when it comes to writing things out like that. I'm not sure, but as I've been seeing these new pages come together in my head, I have been there. They seem a bit more grungy, maybe just more different layers of paper, maybe some paint, and then and writing. And that's kind of how I've been seeing stuff. And I haven't tried to get any of that out of my head and see how I feel about doing that kind of style in my journal, because it will be something different than I have really done before, So I don't know what journal I'm going to do that in. I've got two different ones down here that I'll show you that I have been adding just images to, and I haven't done anything else to them. I've only put like base images in them. One of them, the pages are completely full, covered with the image, and the other one, I just covered up the text and the book with some images, and that's it. So I've got both of those sitting here and just kind of waiting for me to decide what to do with them. I don't know if what I'm seeing, if that will work in these journals that I have kind of started. So I don't know if maybe I should make another journal that's different, but that's just kind of where my head's going. And as I am looking through these images that I'm getting ready to, and just kind of feeling things out, that I'll try to share what I'm thinking and why, and see if we can figure out kind of what this next stage in my art journaling, how it's going to go and which direction it's going to take. So I'm going to go ahead and point you down and so that you can see my work area, and we'll get started. So these are the two journals that I was talking about that I've just been working on here and there this past year. This one, I made the journal forever ago, and I do have a video on where I talk about that. And then it sat forever for years and years and years, and I just wasn't sure what to do with it. And then I started just recently going through and just adding images that I have just from my stash. A lot of these are from Bella Grace magazine, and I had just gone through and put like just these big images on all the pages and then let this sit for a little while again. And not long ago I started adding these just kind of these cutout elements to some of the pages as I came across things that I thought would just fit there. So this one has just really been just kind of working on it here and there. I haven't ever really done anything like this before, as far as going through a journal and adding things in the way that I have with this one. So I have just kind of let it sit again for a while. I really had gone through and just added all sorts of these smaller cutout elements on here and have let it sit. So this one's actually my favorite. And looking through this, I kind of wonder if this might work for what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think this one might be a little bit better. I'm kind of hesitant about adding even more stuff to this because this is already really thick with images, and on some of these I might be adding even more. You know, if I want a image of a person or something on there. So right now this is looking like this, and it's gonna end up looking like my junk journal, which my junk journal is a beast. Let me grab it. So here's my junk journal, and this one got way out of hand because as I started working on it, at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep these all nice and flat, and then I started working on it and I was like, no, that's not me, I need to add more. And I just kept on adding and adding and adding and adding, and this is what it looks like now. I absolutely love this journal, and I realized that I never have done a flip through of this, and I need to. I remember once I had sat down and tried to do it, and it was pretty long, and I don't remember why, but for some reason I never published it. I never edited or anything. So I do need to do a flip through of this so that you all can see. And but I'm kind of worried that this might turn into this, but that's okay. So I love this journal, so I need to get a flip through this so that you can all see it. All of the pages that I did in that journal are on my Instagram. I probably have a picture of probably every page on my Instagram that's in that journal. So if you have to scroll back a few years, but they are there. And I know that I have a few videos also that I did working in that journal. So this one might get nice and big and chunky like that too. But as I'm touching this and feeling it and just kind of thinking about what I'm wanting, I think that this might work. This is the other one that I had just not long ago started working on. Also, I had originally bought this book for the images in it. Oh, just a second. Okay, well, it is now actually Monday. I ended up talking on the phone last night for a little while, and then it was just too late to get started again. So it's Monday now. It's just about noon, and I am just going to pick up where we left off. I ended up sleeping for quite a while. I have today off. It is Labor Day here in the United States, and so there's no school today, and so when there's no school, that means I don't go to work. So this day was very, very, very much needed, and I'm very grateful for it. So I actually slept until about 10:45. I could not get myself to wake up. I would wake up and just not be able to just like fully wake up, and then I'd fall back to sleep, and I'd sleep for another couple hours, and then I'd wake up, and I did that until about 10:45 when I realized what time it was, and I like made myself sit up. So I feel like I could have still kept on sleeping, and I know that I need some rest, but I also know that I need to, you know, not just stay in bed. So I was talking about this book, and this is one that I picked up at half-price bookstores a while ago, and when I bought it just for the images inside, to use the images that were in there to cut them out. They were florals. It's kind of hard a little bit to tell which one's the original pictures, so I got this just for the florals, and it sat for a while. And then I decided to just start going through it and start adding images onto the pages over the existing text. And I think I've actually finally got all the pages covered in here. I don't think that there are any left that have text in them. So so pretty much, you know, where you see a large image, most likely like that is where text was in the book. And the nice thing about the text in the book is that a lot of times it was maybe just like a little square. It wasn't, you know, the full page, which made it a lot easier to go through and just take images and cover up over the text. Like here, I know the text was just kind of like right there. So that's just what I did in this book, and it was really I really enjoyed doing it. Whenever there would just be times when I would want to, I knew I needed to kind of work on something and just try to just do something creative somewhat, but I didn't want to work on, you know, like a big full page in my big collage journal. This was a really good middle ground for me, and it was just really calming and soothing just to go through my stacks of the, you know, I've got these baskets of images that just have a lot of random ones in it, and I would just grab the basket and, you know, put on some music and have my cutter, and, you know, maybe have a candle going, and it would be quiet, and I would just kind of go through and go through the images. And as I saw ones that I thought would work with the image that's already in the book, then I would place it on there. So there's a couple where I'm kind of like, I don't know if I like that, especially this one. The colors all go together, but I really don't really care for the way that that it looks. So I know that now I'll probably go through and add maybe another layer of something on it, like I did and like I'm doing in this one here. So like here, this floral is cut out and placed on there. This here is something that I cut out and adhered on there. So I'm thinking that maybe doing the same thing in this will help with some of the images that I'm not totally thrilled with. So as far as doing what I'm kind of thinking about doing, which is what got me started looking for another journal to work in. I'm not 100% sure if this is what I want. I'm still kind of leaning towards working in this one as far as maybe making this a little bit more grungy and collagey and with just the written word in it. I can see it better in this one for some reason. I'm not sure if it's because on this the pages are the complete image, and so I can easily see like adding more on here. On this, with all of the white space that's in here, I actually kind of like having just the white around here, and I don't know if I want to cover a lot of that up. So it's a little bit more open and airy and clean, and maybe that's what I'm thinking, because everything's got nice sharp clean lines, and they look even, you know, even more like that since it's on this white background. So I think that this one I might just kind of keep adding things to it here and there. And as far as putting any words on it, whenever I was adding a lot of images in here, I'm thinking this now as I'm starting to flip through these pages, I'm remembering just some of the things that I was thinking as I was working on it. And I can for sure see, just along with the lines of it, everything in here being kind of crisp and clean, I think I see more as far as writing goes, or words, adding words. I'm thinking I'll just keep it with like found word type stuff. So I'm just gonna grab something. So you know, I think that this might be more what this journal would be just adding the graphic text on here. I could still, you know, maybe add some more people and things like that, but that is how I see this one starting, like how it's wanting to come to be. And I think that I will stick with that, because this feels right doing it this way. So, and that's what's been interesting about these two journals. I have been working on them in a way that I hadn't ever really before. In the past, I always had a definite vision or goal to as far as what I was going to do in the journal. Like my collage journal, in my big collage journal, you know, I knew that all of that was going to be just those big collages. And even my junk journal, you know, I kind of had an idea of what it was gonna be and how it was gonna kind of look. My big, huge, chunky junk journal, I for sure didn't see it getting as massive as it did, and that was definitely my style growing as I was working through in that journal. I was definitely developing like that, how I work in my junk journal. That's where all of that came to be, where all of it manifested and where all of it started. And it was just that was also really cool too. And that's why I've tried to be open with these and not really force what I did inside them. So, but with these here, especially with this one, I mean, I was like, you know, I don't know what I want to do with this, but I know that I want to just cover up the text. And so I went through and covered up all the text. And, you know, I didn't really think past that. And so then it was like, okay, well, now I think I might want to add a few more extra images on there. And so that's when I went through and started adding some of, just on a few of them, just kind of added a little bit of extra. And so now I think that this one, the next step in this one is going to be maybe focusing on words and, you know, maybe adding just some more floral type things onto the pages. So I've got my little baskets here that have scraps in it. And I mean, mean, even like this here, you know, so like this, I could cut this out and add that on there somehow, and then add some words, and then, you know, and then that just might be this. So for what I am really wanting though, with these pages that I've been thinking about lately, I think this one is what it's going to be. So last night I was kind of just thinking about all this again and trying to decide what to do, and I don't know if it's overthinking or what, but it was, then I kind of went to the, well, maybe I should make another journal, you know, make something specifically for this purpose. And I went back and forth on that, but I really don't know what I would do, and I don't know if I'd want to start with blank pages for kind of what I'm seeing in my head on these pages that I'm wanting to get out. I see them on you know, almost kind of like junk journaling type pages. So I see them on coming together that's on something that already has things on the page. I'm really having a hard time putting into words what I'm envisioning in my head right now. So I just don't see starting any of the pages that are kind of brewing around in my head. I don't see them starting on an already blank page. And it's not like a fear of starting on a blank page. It's more, I see them kind of coming to be on something that's already starting. So, and this is already starting. So I think what I'm going to do is, you know, kind of flip through here, and then if I find a page that relates to, I don't know what this black fluffy stuff is, if I find a page that relates to what, you know, I'm thinking and what I'm wanting to get out, then I'll start building onto that page. I think that's how I'm gonna kind of work on things. And then if I get to where there's pages in here that aren't working for what I'm really wanting to do, I'll either kind of maybe cover things up and go from there, or then maybe by then I'll be where I kind of have an idea of what kind of journal I want to do this in. So I really think that's it. I know I said that I might put some images down, but I think that might just be for something else. This is more of just really kind of figuring out the next step with what I want to do. And I know my last video was really long. It was over an hour long, so try to keep things a little bit shorter as I just kind of progress through this week with things. But I might kind of look through this one a bit and see about adding some things on there. I really like this one here. I need to cut this out, so I might cut this out and see where it wants to go, because I can kind of see it being in here. It would also work really easily in here too. So anyways, I could sit here and kind of flip through all these things forever. I could flip through my basket of images that I have here and just kind of see what wants to go where. I do have all of my other images are in drawers over here, and they're organized by category, and I really like having them that way because it just helps me find things quickly. You know, I have all my people in a drawer, I have all my flowers in a drawer, all my butterflies in a drawer, so they're divided up like that. But this is also really nice, and just to have just random stuff in here, and it's just nice to kind of flip through it and see what I find and what kind of decides that it wants to make it on the page, into the page that day. And I've also got a little tin here that I have bigger ones on, and A lot of these go in my big collage journal, but I really like that. So I keep on grabbing this. I really like that. I'm gonna set that one out. I like that side too. It's a bummer when you like both sides. But I do really like that. I like the expression on her face. That's what I am for sure drawn to. So, and I do on this one too. I'm gonna set that to the side. But I think I'm gonna stop for now. And actually the other thing that I'm getting ready to work on, and I might do that next, is I'm going to, let me grab them. Let me get this out of the way. I don't know if she wants to be in here or in here. I don't know. I'm gonna set that to the side. I am going to play with these paints that I got from Blick's. They are the Dick Blick's brand of acrylic paint. I have never used them before. This brand of paint is what they use at the craft workshop that I am teaching the class at on Friday and Sunday. And since I've never used this paint before, I wanted to get some so that I could see how it worked and just kind of see, well, to see how it works. And so I wish they had smaller bottles, but they didn't. So with colors that I wanted, I didn't see any smaller bottles. So I hope that I like them because I got some big bottles. I guess if I don't, then I'll donate them to the workshop. But I don't see why there would be anything wrong with these whatsoever. So what I am planning on doing then, right now maybe, is because I need to do this, I need to play with these. And this was something that I had told myself that I was going to do today on my day off. So I've got these, and then I have got this big huge stack of, some of these are finished. Let me see, I've got this big huge stack of already cut out ATCs. Some of these are done and they're kind of mixed in with these other ones. And these are all just ones where I had started working on them. And what I usually do whenever I start is I take a piece of deli paper that I have out while I'm working on other projects. I always put a piece of deli paper on my work area, and it catches just all the paint, all the muck, all, you know, that drips down onto my work area while I'm working. And that's what this is. So the first layer on these, I put book text. I covered it with book text, and then I placed the big sheet of deli paper on there, and that is just kind of a good starter for these pages. So these are actually baby wipes that I use to wipe off some glaze, some paint mixed with glaze. So these are baby wipes, and they have a really cool texture to them. But that's what I've got here to start with, and I've had these sitting around since lockdown because I went during lockdown. One of the ways that I kept myself busy was I just made a ton of ATCs, and that's what a lot of these are. So then things started happening not long after lockdown started, and that's whenever big changes started happening in my life, and they just got left to the side. So I think I'm just going to take some of these and have this and see what happens with them, and I'll kill two birds with one stone. I'll use up some of these ATCs, plus I'll get to play with these paints a little bit and see how they work. So I'm going to get ready to work on that and finish this one and move on to some paint. And thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for listening, and thank you for all of your kind comments that you have left, especially with my video yesterday. And I really do appreciate it. I appreciate it more than you know. That one was unedited. that was unedited. Well, I don't edit out stuff on these anyway, but that one was, I sat down and just talked. So I really appreciate you listening, and for all the kind comments that have been left. So thank you so very much. I love you so much, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and I'm excited about these paints. So I will see you again really soon. Bye-bye.